Take the path of least resistance. What does that even mean? You might have heard the path of least resistance. Don't resist. Go, don't resist. Take the path of least resistance. What does this all mean? It literally means that when you have a particular decision, whatever feels good, take that. Resistance is not resistance against some particular thing, it's resistance against how you're feeling. Like, as in, if you're feeling bad, don't take that. If you're feeling good, start taking it. I'm gonna explain it in this video. Hey guys, welcome to the Awakened Reality, and you are with Krishwan, and today I'm going to be talking about take the path of least resistance. And what do I mean by the path of least resistance? You might have heard the path of least resistance, you might have heard go with the flow, and you might have been like, what does all this mean? So by what the path of least resistance means, literally as what the words say, is the path where the resistance is the least. What the resistance here means, that it doesn't mean like you're resisting against a particular situation, not like that. It's not resistance against something or someone, or it's not resistance against a movement. No, it's this resistance meaning it's resistance against what feels comfortable to you, what feels good to you, what feels comfortable to you, what feels good to you. It's resistance against that resistance. You want to go with that path of least resistance. So this also comes into intuition. Like when you're using your intuition, suddenly a particular decision comes and you feel like this decision is the right one and that one doesn't feel so good. But if you take the one that doesn't feel so good, you're not going against the path of least resistance. In fact, you're causing yourself more resistance. That is the resistance that we're talking about. The resistance against what your body is feeling. That is the resistance that we're talking about. If you're taking that resistance, what happens? You're going in a path that doesn't feel good to you, and your body is like an internal guidance system. If you want to manifest something, if you want to have something, it's always guiding you towards that manifestation and is always wanting you to have that thing. So it's trying to help you to get to that thing by showing you the path. And what is this path? This path is the path that feels comfortable or safe or good, and many a times we think logically, and then we'll be like, sometimes the path may even veer us out in a different route, like a route that that we might have not even thought about, and something might say that, hey, I have to go this way. You might just know internally, I have to go this way. But logically, it might be that you have to go this way. So you make this decision of, okay, let's take the logical one and let's go. Even though I don't feel good about it, let's do that. And then when you're doing that, you're actually resisting. You're actually going against the path of least resistance, which was actually that side, which you felt something safe about, which you felt something good about, and your intuition told you that, but your logic is telling you this doesn't feel so good, and so you're going. Let's say you're going with your logic, and when you're going against this, you're not taking the path of least resistance. You're actually taking the path with more resistance. In this way, this is resistance against what your body is feeling. So you're taking this path of more resistance. What happens is the intuition is almost like 100% right, because it's source guiding us towards the manifestation that we want through the easiest and the simplest path. Even though it might be long, or it might be a different path, or a path that we can't see or we can't understand, it is the simplest path. It is the easiest and most comfortable path. It is the path where you actually want to be going through. So, but sometimes we'll be like, oh, the ego is like that, so I have to do this. Or you'll take logic into account, you'll think it over, put all calculations in your mind, and you'll be like, even though I don't feel good about this, I'm going to go about it. But when you start going about it, and when you do it, it will be difficult. It'll be going against you, because your intuition is like this higher power knowledge, this higher source that is telling you, hey, you can go through this way. If you go through this way, it's going to be easier. If you go through this way, it's going to be tougher. If you go through this way, maybe you can't see things in the future. You can't put your calculations, whatever. But I'm telling you, if you go through this way, those miracles are going to happen through your process, and it's going to be a much comfortable path than this one. But then when you go through this way, what are you doing? You're taking the path of most resistance. Remember, this is resistance not against any situation. It's not resistance against anybody. It's not a protest over here. It's just resistance against what your body is feeling. So many a times this path of least resistance. So that's why they say take the path of least resistance, because the path of least resistance is what your intuition is guiding you, what the spiritual guidance you're getting, and the rest of the world is also you, that source, and that source is helping you, guiding you through your intuition, telling you, hey Kris, take the path of least resistance, or hey, who are you, take the path of least resistance, aka the path that feels good. And that will genuinely feel good when you start taking it too. Okay, so this is what take the path of least resistance means. And even going with the flow is like going with the flow, like going with whatever feels good. So it's kind of related to the path of least resistance, but this is what take the path of least resistance means. That's all. This video is just about that. What is the meaning of path of least resistance? It's not some protest, it's not some resistance against people, it's nothing like that. It's only resistance against what your body is feeling. Ideally, what I'm trying to tell you is do what your body is feeling good about, as in go with the good thing. Even if you want to make change, let's say you want to make some change in your life, and I understand that the change might be different from what your body is habituated to, right? So you will be like, I want to make this change, and it's not that okay, you've set this notion that you want to have the change, so the universe is going to start guiding you, and when the universe is going to start guiding you, you just tune into that guidance as into how the body feels, and then you embark that change, you bring upon that change into yourself. And then even in that also there'll be a little bit of a comfortability, a good feeling, but sometimes if you think that, oh, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy myself and I'm not going to do anything for the change, that itself will feel uncomfortable, because what you've asked the universe is for change. And so when you're asked the universe for change and the universe is trying to guide you for change, the guidance towards that change will feel more better than just laying back and doing nothing. Laying back and doing nothing will actually feel like, should I be doing something? It will feel like that, because you're manifesting the change. So it'll be like, should I be doing the change? So even that will also feel bad. Even that is also a path of least resistance. You'll be like, Kris, I'm just sitting and I'm doing nothing. What am I resisting? You're resisting against how your body is feeling. Your body wants the change. You are the one who asked for the change. The universe is helping you to get to the change. And so your body is trying to, your source, your intuition, your body is trying to guide you to the change. But then if you resist against it and if you sit and do nothing, you're taking the path of most resistance at that point of time. So that's just, this video is just about that. What is the path of least resistance? Resisting against feeling good is the path of most resistance. Going with what feels good is the path of least resistance. I just want to add this as well. The path of least resistance may not always be rosy and, like the way you want it to be. Sometimes it will go against your ego. Sometimes you'll feel like, sometimes, for example, I'll give you like when you're fighting against somebody. The path of least resistance over there would literally be to like stop responding to that person. But if you feel like your ego has to respond and you have to state what you want to state, that you're going against your resistance. Your body feels like, I don't want to get into this fight. I want to have a good time. That's what your body's telling. But you are like, your ego is like, no, I want to put across a statement. Here, the path of least resistance would be like, you know what, you don't have to fight. That would be the path of least resistance. So that's in case of, when you're in situations when you have to make decisions like, what is the best decision for me to be happy, for me to move forward with this. So sometimes, many a times, the path of least resistance might even take you in a direction that might be different, or might be unique, or might be not what you're expecting it to be, or it might go against what your natural reaction is. But if you take the path of least resistance, you'll find that that is the easiest path out of the situation, and you didn't have to go through the tougher path, or the path that involves a lot of drama, whatever it is. You don't have to go through the tougher path. You don't literally have to go through the tougher path. If you take this easier path, you get it easy. So that's what I just wanted to put this across, that sometimes the path of least resistance, many times even then also the path of least resistance might show you a path that you can't see where the path is leading to, or it might be a path against what you're thinking. But if you take that path of least resistance, that aka that path which you feel is good but logically may not make sense, then you're good. You're actually moving in the right direction, and trust me, that path will be better than the opposite path, the logical path, or whatever you thought was what you wanted to do. That's about it. Bye. Oh, wait a second. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell notifications. If you'd like to take a spiritual life coaching session with me, go to flow.page/Krishwan or flow.page/The Awakened Reality, and you can book a session with me, or you can also DM me, hit me up, book a session with me. I also have a WhatsApp group that's growing daily, and people ask me questions there. I'll answer them without a session itself. You can also join the group, ask questions. You can also feed on all the content that's going to be helping you. It's inspiring, empowering content, and the link I'm going to put here below. And now I can comfortably say bye. Bye.